This is the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief, keeping you informed about the happenings in Annapolis and the area. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and of course, local weather. The Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Thursday, July 9th, 2020. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. A Severn man was treated for minor burns after a vape pen ignited and set fire to his bedroom in his Severn home on Monday morning. At about 8:30 a.m. on Monday morning, the fire department was dispatched to a problem at the 1800 block of Statesman Court in Severn. They didn't know what the problem was, but when they were en route, they learned that it was a dwelling fire. They arrived, they found smoke coming from the front of the house and flames coming from a second-story window in the rear of the home. The homeowner was sleeping in bed when he woke up to heat and fire in his hand from his vape device. He suffered a minor burn to his fingers, was transported to a local hospital. He's doing fine now, but unfortunately he was displaced from the home and is being assisted by the Red Cross, and damage is estimated to be $30,000. Just a cautionary tale about vaping. The city of Annapolis is changing up their recovery zones just a little bit, and we have Mitchell Stevenson, who is the spokesperson for the city of Annapolis, here with us to give us all of the details.
This is Mitchell Stevenson from the city of Annapolis with some updates to our city recovery zones, road closures, and operations. Please note that these changes come at the request of the businesses and recovery zone block captains for each area. This week, we have two changes to announce. The first is on Maryland Avenue, where the road will be closed from 5 to 10 p.m. on Wednesdays and Saturdays only. The rest of the time, there will be parking space reductions for outdoor dining in front of Galway Bay. The second change is on Main Street. Starting this weekend, Main Street will no longer have any road closures. There will be sidewalk extensions moved into place on Thursday so that sidewalk dining can be extended at level into some of the parking spaces. The road will be closed Thursday night for one last recovery zone event and reopen on Friday. These extensions will also be in place in front of Claybaker's so that people can do their art thing out in the open air. We want to remind you that even while you are out in our recovery zones, to please wear a mask, practice physical distancing, and wash your hands or use hand sanitizer frequently. Stay safe, Annapolis.
Thanks, Mitchell. Boy, it's so good to see businesses getting back on their feet once again. I'll tell you, I think Governor Larry Hogan is a little bit pissed off with the State Board of Elections. Yesterday, he sent them a letter pretty much ordering them to run the elections per state law, which means in person, and adding on precautions in light of COVID-19. In a statement he released yesterday, he said, due to the State Board of Elections' failure to provide a recommendation on how to conduct the election, here's what I suggest. Every early voting center should be open, and every polling location across the state should be open on Election Day to accommodate anyone who wants to vote in person. He wants to ensure that every Marylander who does want to vote by mail or absentee can do that, and he is asking them to promptly send out an absentee ballot request application to every eligible Maryland voter. He's asking for every effort to be made to promote early voting, absentee voting by mail, and voting at off-peak times to limit exposure for COVID-19. And he said that he will encourage state employees to help supplement election staffing needs, and the state will provide any necessary personal protective equipment to run the polls. And remember, we only have 117 days until Election Day. The University of Maryland College Park came out with their plan for the fall semester, and any class with more than 50 students will be taught online. Smaller classes, or those that require more interactive situations like labs, internships, will be taught in person, but gone are the days when you've got a giant lecture hall filled with several hundred people. They estimate that about 20% of the undergraduate courses will be taught at least partially in person this fall. That means 80% are going to be online. Quite a different college experience. Colleges all across the country are figuring out how to deal with it. They're all doing it a little bit differently. High schools are also in that same pickle. Anne Arundel County Public Schools still has no idea what they want to do. The board was, quote, updated yesterday, and pretty much all that was said was that 47% of the parents want the students to go back into the classroom, while 53% either wanted remote learning or partially remote learning. Superintendent Arlotto says that they should have an answer by the end of the month, but he said there was not much that we could do until the state issues their mandate, and technically the schools are still closed. In some other school news yesterday, the Centennial and Ivy League conferences have decided to cancel sports for the fall of 2020. While not huge conferences, it is definitely a signal to some of the larger conferences to see what they may want to do. Incidentally, UNC Tar Heels, they have paused their training for football as 37 players have been tested positive for COVID. Right now, we do not have any word on what Navy plans to do with football. Last we heard is they were trying to schedule a Notre Dame game on Labor Day weekend, and we do know that on September 12th, Lafayette pulled out, and they will not play Navy at home on the 12th. And if you're not doing anything tonight, this would be something very interesting to do. I'm going to be online and checking this out, but Historic Annapolis is doing 2 lectures as part of their new historic virtual lecture series. Gets underway at 7 p.m. You have to register for them. You can go to annapolis.org to register. It is free. Once you are registered, they'll send you all the Zoom invite information and the code words and everything else to get in there. It is going to be conducted over Zoom. The one tonight at 7 p.m., it's going to be a brief outline of Annapolis history. Historian Glenn Campbell is going to break it down for everybody. Annapolis has a really long and complicated history, and he's going to break it down into bite-sized blocks of time to really sort of help make sense of it all, from the birth in the 17th century to pretty much what we're facing right now in the 21st. Following up on that, next week, July 16th, Glenn will also be talking about Brave Soldier of Fame, and this is all about General Lafayette in Annapolis. And I didn't realize this, but he didn't really spend too much time here, even though his footprints seem to be all over here. And it happened in 2 separate chunks of time, back in 1777 and 1781, and then 1784 and 1824. That will be very fascinating to hear the history of Annapolis as well as Lafayette in Annapolis. Again, you want to go on to annapolis.org to register. It is free. And just a point, Glenn Campbell will not be singing Wichita Lineman. All right, that does wrap it up for us today. Please make sure you're checking out eyeonannapolis.net throughout the day, because we're going to update these stories and more as we go along. If you're someplace you can give us a rating or a review, please do that, and let your friends, family, and colleagues know how to get a hold of us. It is Thursday, so we do have Trevor standing by with your Annapolis Makerspace Maker Minutes. George Young is hanging out with your local DMV weather forecast, and all of that is coming up right after this brief message from Solar Energy Services.
Hello, energy consumers. This is Rick Peters, president of Solar Energy Services. Have you been looking for ways to save money recently? Maybe you should consider solar energy for your home. Or are you waiting for the technology to get cheaper? If so, how long are you going to wait? Today's solar costs less than 20% of what it cost 10 years ago, but while solar prices have declined every year, so have the financial incentives. Bottom line, if you wait for cheaper solar, you're also waiting for lower incentives. Take my home, for example. My solar system was installed in 2010, and it's been paid off for almost 5 years, and I no longer have to buy any electricity for another 15 to 20 years. If I waited for cheaper solar, I'd still be paying an electric bill. At Solar Energy Services, we have thousands of satisfied customers who are sure glad they didn't wait. So what are you waiting for? Sunshine's a wasted. Call us today for a free solar design at 410-923-6090 or on the web at solarsaves.net.
Sunshine, sunshine, nothing else can make me feel so fine.
Going out? You need the most up-to-date local weather. Here's George Young from DMV Weather in Annapolis with today's forecast.
Hey everyone, this is George with DMV Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Thursday, July 9th. Yesterday was another day with 80s and 90s throughout Anne Arundel County, with the upside being another reprieve from PM thunderstorms. And today will bring more of a virtual repeat with highs again 87 to 94 degrees, with another small but valid chance of scattered PM storms. All while things to our south likely get a bit more interesting as a low-pressure center takes shape just off the southeast coast as what will likely become Tropical Storm Faye, and that tropical system may very well track into portions of the Annapolis region on Friday with breezy rains and temps in the 80s, with some more rain likely on Saturday before going back to 80s and 90s on Sunday with a chance of PM storms. So stay tuned for more updates on this late evolving storm and be prepared for some potentially heavy rain to move over the region on Friday. Okay, that's it for today. This is George Young of DMV Weather. Make it a great day out there. Stay healthy and be safe. And be sure to get our free app on all of your devices by searching DCMDVA Weather in the Apple or Google App Store. And also follow us on Facebook and Twitter. And use our website at dmvweather.com so you can always stay weather informed.
Dirty house? Call a spouse. That's right. Facts are, men don't always listen when it comes to cleaning the house. Spouses Cleaning Houses does. They clean almost anything. Fridge, oven, tub, showers, walls, porches, floors, ceilings, carpets, upholstery, tables, counters, pictures, mirrors, lights, fans, windows. They even take out the trash. Spouses Cleaning Houses has more than 13 years experience maintaining sparkling clean homes in and around Annapolis with respect and dedication. The friendly and flexible cleaning professionals at Spouses listen, understand, and act to meet nearly all your cleaning requests. For that breath of fresh air, clean feel, call a spouse at 410-571-9428 or at spousescleaninghouses.com. Just in time for your summer get-togethers, they're offering a spectacular summer savings, 20% off your first cleaning. That's right, save 20%. Just call a spouse, 410-571-9428 or at spousescleaninghouses.com. Spouses Cleaning Houses. Men may not listen. The spouses do.
Every week, makers, crafters, and educators hold events all over the area. Highlighting some of those, here's our Makers Minute, brought to you by Annapolis Makerspace.
Hey, this is Trevor from Annapolis Makerspace with this week's Maker Minutes. Anne-Marie Sculpture Gardens down in Solomons is still doing a bunch of fun online activities. Today is the Green Queen's art scene in her virtual art lab, upcycling household items into eco-friendly art. Saturday is an Artini virtual paint party. The theme is Over the Moon, with a suggested menu of themed cocktails and snacks. On Tuesday is Kitchen Creative's art recipe fun. Use common kitchen and household items to mix your own clays, paints, glues, and more. And then on Wednesday, there's Picture This, a virtual preschool art and story time. At Wine and Design in Annapolis, they're offering take-home kits for painting. This week, check out Lotus Flower, Serene Sunrise, Cactus Blossom, and Sunflower Ride take-home kits in virtual classes. At the Kid Museum up in Bethesda, check out their Make It DIY online workshops. This week's theme is Nature Explorers that includes pre-recorded activities, including Cloud in a Jar, Model of the Earth's Core, Do-It-Yourself Sundial, Ocean Layers, and Tiny Terrariums. Also check out their Make It summer camps, streamed right to your home, including Kid Engineers for 2nd through 4th graders, and Code Makers for 5th through 7th graders next week, with more classes in the following weeks. Code Ninjas in Edgewater is now open for coding camps and summer camps. Their Summer of Code camps start on Monday. Also check out their Minecraft summer camp next week. The Annapolis Streaming Facebook group has a few musical performances on the way. Tonight there's Live Art Maryland's Quarantini concert, also Boogie Babes live stream with Guava Jelly, as well as an evening with Future Country streaming live from Cult Classic Brewing. And tomorrow, be sure to check out Sue Matthews and Robert Red live from the Mainstay at Ray of Light Studios this week. On Sunday, check out their Bay Zentangle art and appetizers. Crabs will be your inspiration as you lose yourself in the relaxing, repetitive design of Zentangle. And at Art Farm this week, Summer Art Camp registration is open. New summer camps are starting in August, including mixed media sculpture, art Annapolis, street art graffiti and public art, and graphic design camps. But also be sure to check out the Fearless Girls photography camps. There's one for ages 10 through 13 starting next week. And also check out Art Farm's virtual classes. Today is a virtual macrame beginner class, and on Tuesday, check out their virtual block printing workshop, where you'll create your own t-shirts at home. Maryland Hall summer camps for kids have started up. Next week, check out Hand Building 101, as well as Let's Get Real, drawing and painting from observation. They've also put together a collection of Art Reach art challenges on YouTube. And check out their ever-growing list of online classes for adults and children. At the Clay Bakers in Annapolis, they still have a bunch of take-home kits, but also be sure to check out their adult glass fusing workshop, Making a Daisy Bowl, on Tuesday. At the Benjamin Banneker Museum and Park in Ellicott City, both Saturday and Sunday mornings, they're doing a nature hike and scavenger hunt. Join a park naturalist on a hike to find both the Nature Quest markers at Banneker, as well as learning about the diversity of animals and plants that make their home in the park. And on Tuesday, check out Jupiter in Opposition. Jupiter is in opposition every 399 days, placing it on the opposite side of the Earth as the Sun, making it one of the best times to view the planet. So, weather permitting, there'll be some nighttime viewing using eyes, binoculars, as well as a telescope. At the Anne Arundel County Public Library System, they still have daily Facebook Live story times every weekday. Tomorrow, they have another great movies discussion, this time The Wages of Fear, a 1953 movie from France's legendary master of suspense, Henri Georges Clouzot. Also, check out 123 Andreas, Bilingual Family Beats. And on Monday, check out Exploring the Light Spectrum. Explore the electromagnetic spectrum with fun activities you can try at home. On Tuesday, the Squirrel Band has nutty good music. And on Wednesday, there's Intro to Library ebooks and streaming again, with plenty of things to keep you occupied and entertained. And also another Guys Book Club with T.S. Eliot's The Wasteland at the Enoch Pratt Library up in Baltimore. In addition to their Facebook Live story times, they also have a bunch of online events throughout the week, such as Baltimore Backyard Bingo, Fashion Virtual Camp, Imagine Your Story in Emojis, Pratt Teens on Discord, Introduction to Skype and WhatsApp, Gmail Basics, Intro to Microsoft Excel, Beginner Comedy and Improv for Teens, and lots more. At the Pongos Learning Lab and Coder Kids Club in Crofton, they still have lots of great online classes for kids, including coding and animation projects, Minecraft, Roblox, scavenger hunts, and lots of other things. You can find links to all of these events at the Annapolis Makerspace website at makeannapolis.org. And whether you're making art, software, sawdust, or just a mess, chances are you're already a maker. This has been Trevor from Annapolis Makerspace with this week's Maker Minutes.
You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis. And also tell them about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. This podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m., keeping you informed with the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. And take a moment to listen to our other podcast, The Maryland Crabs, released every Thursday at noon.